Now, the web page that we made so far is not very good because it still asks the user to change their username and password, and the user still picks what username and password they want to use. So now we're going to modify our code one more time. And with this time, we're actually going to make everything invisible, and we're going to make this code to be submitted automatically once the user browses the page. So the first thing to make everything hidden, we're going to convert all the inputs, and we're going to add to them type equals hidden. So you can see we have an input here, and I'm going to add an argument saying type equals hidden. I'm also going to add it to this input right here, which is the input that confirms the password. So we're going to set that to hidden as well. And we're going to change the last input, which submits the code. As you can see here, it's called change. We're going to change that to hidden as well. So the user won't see this input either. This is the submit button. And I'm going to remove everything written on the page. So you can see that in here, it says confirm password. So I'm going to remove that. And we can see that in here, it also asks for the new password. So I'm going to remove this part as well. And I'm going to remove this tag. And now I have my three inputs and I have my form. So I only have the important parts of the code. So we have our first input and it's set to hidden. This is the first input that the user puts the password in. We have the second input right here, which is the confirm password. And then we have the submit button. Now we're going to remove the types from here, from the input, from the password inputs. And instead of that, we're going to add a value. So we're actually going to set the value for the new password. And this time we're going to set it to 6 sixes. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to do the same with the confirm password input. So we're going to set its value to 666, 666, because we've already changed the type to hidden. And I misspelled type in here. So I'm going to save this and I'll just open this in my browser just to see what this website looks like now. Now, as you can see, the page is actually empty. But if we view the source, you'll see that we still have our forms. So you can see, I'm just going to zoom on this. You can see that still submitting the form to the right place. It has the input, which is set to hidden. And then it has the new password. The value is set to 6 sixes. We also have the confirm password. It's also set to hidden and the value is 6 sixes. And we have our input, the one that changes everything. And this one is set to hidden as well. So all of this good. Now the last thing we want to do is we want this to be executed automatically when the user double clicks the file. So we don't want the user to hit anything. We even made our input, the submit button, we made it hidden. So we want the user, as soon as they run this file, they get redirected to the page that will change their password. To do that, we're going to need to use a JavaScript code that will automatically submit this form. So once the page loads, it will automatically submit this form. So the first thing we need to do, we're going to need to set an ID for this form so that JavaScript can identify this form. So I'm going to give it an ID and I'm going to set that to, let's say, form 1. And I'm going to place the JavaScript code in here. And to do that, we're going to need to put it between two JavaScript tags. So we're going to start with a script and we need to close that tag as well. So it's a slash script. Then we're going to do document to access the current document. Dot get element by ID, so we can access the form that we just created and we called it form 1. Then we're going to place the ID that we just created and we called it form 1 right here. So we're going to change that to here. So we're going to say form 1. So the code so far will access the current document and it's going to look for an element that has the ID of number 1. Then we're going to tell it what we want to do with that element, with that form, and we're going to want it to submit. So we're going to say dot submit. So the code is very simple. We just added an ID to the current form. We called it form 1. And then we added a JavaScript code, starting with a script and ending with a / script. And we said the document, and we want you to get the element by ID. We want you to get form 1, and we want you to submit it. Now, once the user double clicks this file, the file will be executed automatically without the user having to do anything. So let's see this in action. I'm going to come now. I'm going to close this. And I'm going to close this one as well. And I'm just gonna double click my new file right here. And as you can see, automatically I got a new page, and this page is telling me that the password have been changed. So the user didn't click anything, the user didn't put any password, and the page was executed from a place that's not on the same web server. So it was executed from the local machine, but still it submitted the information, the website accepted the information, and the website changed my password to the new password. So my password now, the admin password, have been changed to 666-666. So if I log out and try to log in, I'm going to put my username as admin and the password to 666-666, hit enter, and you'll see that I logged in with the new password instead of my original password. Now it's all up to you and how smart you are with tricking the targets, with how to get them to run your file. So now it's all down to social engineering, how you're going to send it, what you're going to pretend that the file is going to be. One way is to send the file as it is, as HTML. The other way is just to host the file on a HTML web hosting. So you can upload it to any web hosting. There's a lot of free ones. And then you can just send the URL of the file instead of even getting the target person to download the file, which will be much less suspicious.